Yeah, I was just like, I want to make sure they give me the place and the date and time. I was like, did I forget something? So I called everybody up. So
We will attend in just 1 minute as soon as I get our city attorney on the phone.
was there
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, okay. Get ready to start.
Alright.
Call this meeting of Walthourville Mayor and Council meeting to order. May we have roll call, please?
Ms. Sarah B. Hayes,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Sylvia L. Lovett. Here. Councilmember Mitchell Boston.
Present.
Councilmember Patrick Underwood.
Here.
Councilmember Reggie Kelly.
Here.
Councilmember Robert Dodd.
Here.
Madam Mayor, you have the floor.
We stand for invocation, please. Now, can you approach the podium, please?
Let us pray. Father, I just thank you for this great man, this great city council that you've assembled here in Walthourville, that they meet the needs of the people. And I thank you, Lord God, for these elected officials, that they work together in love, they work together in harmony, and they work together as a team to get what needs to be done for this city of Walthourville and the people that are here in this city. So we thank you and we bless this meeting, and we thank you, Lord God, that you will be a part of it. For us in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Atkins. Now we'll have to pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, we need a motion to approve the adoption of tonight's agenda.
I make a motion that we adopt the agenda as the order of business for tonight.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. Thank you. Need a motion to adopt the meeting minutes from February 25th, special call meeting.
A motion that we approve the minutes from special call meeting from February 25th.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. Motion carried. Were there any, no's? Motion carried, thank you. Need a motion to approve February 25th regular meeting minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the February 25th regular meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. Any no's? Motion carried. Need a motion to approve February 25th executive session minutes.
I make a motion that we approve February 25th executive session minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. Any no's? Need a motion to approve March the 5th special call meeting minutes.
Those are the minutes that I think we took from those two next time because I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay, we'll delay that. All right, presentations. My presentation will be made at a later date. Mayor Pro Tem Lovett, you have a presentation.
Can I have my D9 sisters to come forward?
Welcome, AKAs.
You can come on. Could we get Councilman Mitchell to please take our picture?
I sure will. It'll be my honor.
Don't get them to start honeydew.
Look, already. You want me to use that camera?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna snap out. Get these pictures.
Thank you so much. It's often said that women don't get along,
Yeah.
but I want you to know that the D9 sisters get along. And I feel honored to present this to you all this afternoon. And it's a certificate of appreciation proudly presented to the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Neuro Omega Cultured Pearls Foundation Incorporated, for your efforts of promoting and beautifying Johnny Frazier Park, given this day, 11th day of March, 2025.
We appreciate it.
No, we appreciate it, certainly. Thank you.
Thank you for thinking of us.
Yes.
Would you like to say anything?
Well, just on behalf of the members of Alpha Kappa Alpha, New Omega chapter here in Hinesville, Georgia, we just want to thank you for recognizing us.
Yes.
We find it an honor and a privilege to serve the community. We love Johnny Frazier Park, and we have so many other things that we have on our agenda. So we love for you to join us and participate with us whenever you see pink and green and Alpha Kappa Alpha and D9. We all want to come together so that we can make our community a good place to be and a good place to live. So we just thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Y'all ready?
Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing y'all on Saturday.
What do I say? Yeah, she's up.
All right. Next on the agenda is LCTC.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I was, here last time we held a public hearing on amendments to UDO, and you asked for more time to table it for next week. As I recall, one of the things that you were thinking about adding or revising the amendments for was to allow RVs to park temporarily. Allow them to park temporarily if relatives or friends visiting. And so this is the page of the amendment where you will see highlighted and underlined in red language that Liberty County adopted for when they adopted this ordinance. They too were concerned about wanting to, allow a certain leeway for community friends and relatives to allow them to bring their RV onto their property. They settled on 2 weeks. You, of course, can either not accept this or decide to come on 3 weeks, a week, whatever. It's up to you, but this, like I said, this is what Liberty County adopted. And I'm happy to answer any of the questions you may have on the other parts of the UDO amendments or any other section.
What she's referencing is in section 302-18, section C. What's in red?
Correct.
So if we do the RVs, can we put in there where they can't hook like the water and a power pole in there? How's that gonna work?
Well, this is specifically saying that it has to be on a residential property and someone has to be living there. So presumably, they might run an extension cord or however that works. I've never actually owned or been in an RV.
They just don't have like a meter, okay.
Yeah, so it would definitely be something, maybe they'll run a hose and fill up.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Just this TV thing out there.
Oh.
And,
That's the 2 weeks limitation might kind of,
I'm good with that 2 weeks.
You good with the 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I only have one question.
Yes,
Who's
ma'am.
gonna monitor how long they stay on the property?
well, as I kind of mentioned before, it's a little bit of an unenforceable provision, quite honestly. But it does give some avenue for a neighbor who might be aggrieved by someone who has someone staying for a long time. And it would be up to the building and licensing department to enforce this. You know, they might rely on the neighbor, take pictures and show people going in and out, or the lights on at night, or just how long it's been there. But it would be the building and licensing department.
If I may, so what I'm hearing is we think it's enforceable, it might just be hard to prove.
Correct.
Yeah.
So council, are you in agreement with the 2 weeks, them stay, allowing someone to stay on their property for 2 weeks? Do you want it longer, shorter?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, Mayor.
Okay. Okay. All right, then we'll need a motion to approve or
So essentially, just make a motion to approve the ordinance number?
30218.
No, we're talking about the whole thing that she presented last time. Y'all had time to read it? Okay, so we're talking about the whole thing.
I make a motion that we approve the unified development ordinance.
Second. All in favor, show of hands. Motion carried. Thank you. Next on the agenda is business license.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Good to see you all again. I have before you tonight a request for a business license, a home-based occupation, home-based business, and it's going to be used as an office use located at 31 Center Lane. Zoning is R8, single-family residential, and the name of the business is called Hoser Down Pressure Washing. The house will be used as just an office use where the business owner, his name is Mr. James Nelson, he's with us tonight, and he'll be taking in the calls, the emails, the office work, and then be going to the client's locations where he performs his work for them. So that pretty much concludes my pressure wash, read it right off, my presentation tonight, myself or the applicant, or I should say the applicant, business owner, Mr. James Nelson, can try to answer any questions you might have tonight.
Mr. Nelson, can you approach the podium, please?
Hey, good evening, Mayor, Councilman.
Good evening.
Council, you have any questions? How many employees will you have?
I was just a one-man show, so.
Okay, will you be storing any equipment, driving any big trucks or anything like that at your residence?
So no large equipment, nothing that wouldn't fit inside my garage, right? So, and then I just used my, I got a Nissan Frontier, so regular size pickup truck that we use.
Okay. And you'll be going out to the different areas that you contract with to do the business?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And no in and out foot traffic at your home?
Correct. I would prefer the home address not be listed on Google or nothing, so.
Okay.
Nobody bothers me there. I'll just do the paperwork and the accounting stuff, maybe some quotes and things like that, and then go out to the residence or the commercial site, wherever I would be performing the work.
Okay. I do have a question. You said you're doing pressure washing.
Yes, ma'am.
You have one of the vehicles where you fill it up with water? If so, where will you be filling up your vehicle?
So the machine that I use doesn't require a buffer tank like that, so I don't have one at this point. If I upgrade to a bigger machine, it's standard practice to use the customer's water, and that's outlined in my terms and conditions, or the commercial site's water. So if I upgrade to a bigger machine, then I will have to get that tank, and that would just go in the back of my truck there as well. I probably wouldn't need more than 100 gallons, but right, it wouldn't be something where I'd have to fill it up and haul it on over and create a hazard on the roadway or anything like that.
Okay. Council, we don't have any stipulations in any contract about where they fill up and the use of the city water. Do you feel it may be necessary for future references?
How many gallons of water did you say your machine uses?
So it just hooks up at the residential site or the commercial site. So the machine that I use right now pushes 4 gallons per minute. So it's a standard kind of medium-sized machine. If I wanted to go upgrade and maybe get like an 8 gallon per minute machine, then a house's water system couldn't facilitate that, and I would have to buy an external tank. But at this time, I don't have any equipment like that.
I don't think we need an ordinance. I mean, if he fills it up at his house, if he does get a tank, he's gonna pay the water bill. If he fills it at a residence, they're gonna fill it up, and that's a contract.
Correct.
Just bringing it to your attention that we don't have anything like that on here. All right, so council, any further discussion? Need a motion to approve or disapprove?
I make a motion that we approve the business license for, how you say it, hose them down?
Holds it down.
Yes, sir.
Pressure washing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. Motion carried. Welcome to the city.
Thank you, guys.
These are cards.
Business cards?
Thank
Oh,
you.
no, sir. I'll have to swing them by next time. I got them on order.
Okay. Next on the agenda, Chief Maxwell. Before we get to that, I'd like for Chief Reed, he wants to come in and say something really quick.
Mayor, Council, I just wanted to bring Officer Warren for the council, so that the council can meet her. Officer Warren started with us on March 5th. Just so the council can, and then this is set and the council can see her. And this is the papers for the officers that left.
Well, Officer Warren, and I'm glad to be a college member. I enjoy working with you and seeing you all as I work in the community.
So we have 2 Officer Warrens now.
No relation.
Blood marriage.
Welcome, Officer Warren.
Welcome.
So where are you hailing from?
So I'm from Liberty County. I was born and raised, well, I wasn't born in Huntsville, but I was raised in Huntsville. I used to work with HPD in Liberty County. But,
Glad to have you.
thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Thank you, Chief. Next on the agenda, Chief Maxwell. And he will have 2 items.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council, and all the citizens that decided to join us today. I'm gonna try to make this first presentation as short as possible, just get down to the brass tacks of it. I prepared some folders with y'all with some information in there. If you look on the left-hand pocket, the very last sheet should be the document for this first presentation. And I didn't want to inundate y'all with too much paperwork because this second item has a lot of paperwork to go with it, but it's informational only. So essentially what we're here for today is to make a request to council for the approval of the leasing of a passenger vehicle. This leasing is going to complete the 2 vehicles that we were previously approved for. We have yet to make that second purchase. So it's a timing mechanism with some of these things, and there's no time better than right now. What you have is the cover sheet for the lease with Enterprise, who we're currently leasing the Tahoe from. The brass tacks of this paper right here is the $8.95 per month. That's what we would be paying per month for the leasing of this vehicle. The important part, just as equally as important, is we're looking to pay for this lease from the revenue generated from the intergovernmental agreement with the city of Allenhurst. We're not tapping into any current funding that is flowing through our city right now. This is not going to impact our general fund. This is not going to impact the fire fees currently in the city of Walthourville. Essentially, in short, the funds that we generate from the city of Allenhurst is going to pay for this lease and then some. We are projected to generate a little over $6,000 a month from that intergovernmental agreement. Fire department is asking for $895 of it per month to complete the purchase of a second vehicle. We currently don't have a pickup truck, anything that has a bed accessible to us that is reliable. We have an old Atlanta gas light truck that we got some years back. Those vehicles typically go to surplus, and when we receive them, they're normally very close to the end of their life cycle. That vehicle has not been very reliable for us. We've done the best we can with it. Currently, it's the only thing that we have that has a bed on it right now. So we're looking to lease a vehicle from Enterprise. It'll be a black Silverado, police package Silverado. The vehicle is probably going to last us for years and years to come. Life cycles on fire department vehicles are typically, we get our money's worth out of them and then some. They're not on the road every day, all day like a police vehicle is. So this leasing, in addition to the vehicle that we already leased, it'll last us for years to come. You should not see me requesting another one of these for quite some time. So, there are any questions?
What will this vehicle be used for?
So we have been in need of a pickup truck, something with a bed on it that has some towing capability. The truck that we have right now that has a bed on it is a work truck that we received from Atlanta Gas Light. And again, we typically, they surplus those vehicles when they're done using them. And so we typically get them very close to the end of their service life. So we initially wanted to lease out a pickup truck when we purchased the Tahoe. However, we were in the middle of an administration change at the fire department, and there was a lot of things that kind of got weren't priority at the time. We ran into a timing issue with Enterprise where they simply couldn't locate one. It was at the end of the model year for Chevy, and they couldn't locate us a vehicle. So the need was more prevalent at the time for the Tahoe, which is what we leased. So we're essentially adding this vehicle to our fleet. And again, does not impact any funding flowing through the city right now in any way.
Councilman, you have any questions?
For the Atlanta Gas Light vehicle, what's your recommendation that we do with that one?
So when we spoke before about the surplus and of some of the excess vehicles that we had in the city, I was very reluctant to send that vehicle to surplus because it has a bed on it. It hasn't been reliable for us. However, there is still a small level of usage that we have for it. We just have to, we got to go out there and fight with it every morning. Sometimes we have trouble getting it to crank up. But like for our hose testing, we do hose testing in February. The bulk of our hose that we test is actually in reserve on our hose rack. The only way to get that hose out there to the test site is to load it into a vehicle and travel out there with it. That's separate from the hose that's on the fire truck that has to be tested. So it's just a capability mechanism for the fire department. And again, we're trying to enhance our capabilities, and we're not asking the citizens of Walthourville to fund it in any way.
So how much is it going to cost to equip it, the vehicle?
So the police package, this quote is for the vehicle as it sits. Spray and bed liner, police package, tow package, everything included. The only thing we would have to do is add lights to it. We don't foresee a light tab going up. We don't foresee a $10,000 light package being necessary.
So you're not going to put a radio in it?
We have radios. We have radios on hand. So the only additional purchase would be lights. We have radios on hand. We have a vendor that we use for installations. I think he installed our radios inside of our fire truck. I think he charges $150 per radio. So we've got antennas, radios, all the equipment with the exception of the lights.
Can you give us an idea of what the lights will cost?
It would be based on quotes, and it'd be very prudent for us to shop around. One of the biggest vendors in our area is West Chatham. West Chatham is very proud of their work, and so their quotes are a little high, and so we're going to shop the lights around. We're not, like I said, we're not going to ask for a $10,000 light package. I would love to light it up like a Christmas tree, but it's just not necessary.
Council, any further questions?
So on this lease agreement, so we just keep the vehicles forever? There's not a switch out every couple of years?
It's a 60-month lease agreement. So at 60 months, I believe we have the option to either keep the vehicle or have it replaced with a new one, and then you sign a new lease agreement.
And that gives us 3 vehicles on the lease agreement? Or how many?
2.
2 for you, but what about the police? How many do you have on the lease agreement, Chief?
There's 4.
So that will give us 6. And your guys' are how old? 12 months? I don't know how old they are.
The one that we're releasing right now?
Yeah.
We're about a year and a half on top of, I believe.
So 18.
Council, are you ready to move on this, or do you want to, any further information?
Ready to move on it, Mayor. You said it was already approved? This was already approved before?
So the fire department had been approved for the leasing of 2 vehicles. This preceded my time here in this current council. Approved-ish to say. There was 2 vehicles that we were approved for in the past, but we ran into some issues with trying to be as prudent with the leasing as possible. We could have jumped on a vehicle down at East Smith Chevrolet and fulfilled that need, but it wasn't fiscally responsible for us at the time.
So this right here is a police responder vehicle.
Yes, sir. It's just the police package, like the Tahoes. What the biggest part of that for the fire department is it cost us tremendously less to install lights on the police package because they're prefabbed for that type of equipment versus buying a Silverado, your standard Silverado that me or you might buy, and then we spend a lot of money trying to fabricate lights onto it.
And how long before they can deliver?
I'm hoping we can get it in a week or 2.
So they already got them.
They got a bunch of them on hand right now. Again, this is one of the timing things that we look at. We want to find these things while they're sitting on the lot versus waiting months and months and months for them. The Enterprise has been very good to us about getting vehicles to us pretty quickly.
Any further discussion? All right, council, may I have a motion to approve or disapprove?
I make a motion that we approve the vehicle for the fire department.
Is there a second?
Second.
No further discussion? All in favor, show of hands. Motion carried. Thank you.
All right. So the next item, we spent some money. This next item, we're gonna try and get some money. All right. So what you have before you is just for informational. There is a lot of information to go through on this, which is why I spoke with the mayor about making this just informational today. It's going to take some time to look through. Our city attorney, there's a contract included in there that our city attorney is going to want to look at to provide some legal expertise. So in short, as with many things in the state of Georgia, the state of Georgia is kind of split in 2, where for the fire service, you got north of Macon and then you got south of Macon. Everything north of Macon is very large fire departments, very well funded. A lot of tax dollars flow through north of Macon once you get into the Atlanta area. Once you get south of Macon, things get very rural, very fast. A lot of small departments, small municipalities, and a lot less money flows through south of Macon as far as tax revenue. A lot of the ways that some of the larger fire departments have been able to offset costs for their operations is by billing insurance companies. So essentially what this is a company, it's fire recovery, and what they specialize in is billing insurance companies for the cost of our service. So what we run into a lot in the city of Walthourville, with Hinesville being to one side of us and then Little Wissy and Jessup being to the other side of us, is we get a lot of traffic flow through here. What this does is, and this is an effort in the future to give us the opportunity to look at our fire fees and possibly roll them back or eliminate them. What this does is this goes after the responsible party for the call response. So right now we have, where most people statistically will go their whole life and never call 911. However, some people love to call 911. So what this allows us to do is go after the insurance companies when we have to respond to certain types of incidents. A lot of what the fire department does, fire departments throughout the United States, a lot of what we do is based on what insurance companies tell us we need to do. This is our way of making them responsible for the efforts that we make in our fire department. We know that we answer to ISO. That's the fire Bible. They tell us what our fire departments need to do, and that information is based on what insurance companies want to see to protect their policyholders' property. This is how we get our money back from insurance companies that tell us what we need to buy, why we need to buy it, and how many points they're going to give us for it. So if a citizen outside of the Walthourville drives through our portion of Highway 84, they get in a vehicle accident, and I have to send firefighters to that vehicle accident. We have to put a car fire out. We have to put oil drop, whatever the call response is. They don't pay a fire. They don't live in the city of Walthourville, nor do they live in the city of Allenhurst. What this allows us to do is recuperate the cost of our service. We will bill the insurance company. The biggest question that's always asked about this is how does it affect the policyholders' premiums? And the company that we spoke with has assured us that they do not bill an invoice from the fire department that creates a claim. What they do is they attach an invoice to a claim that already exists. So if your premiums will be affected, they will be affected by the claim that already exists anyway. What we're just doing is billing our services on top of the pre-existing claim. So there's a lengthy contract in there. An ordinance has to be adopted by the mayor and council to be able to do this in the city limits. It has the fee structure in there. The fee structure is based on the consumer price index. They're not random numbers, and they are adopted in perpetuity, so that way, as the CPI is adjusted, our prices are adjusted along with it. So everything is included in that packet. It's a large packet, but that's essentially the bulk of what it is that we're attempting to do. I have spoken with the representative from Fire Recovery, and I thought it was prudent for us that we never bill an individual. We only bill the insurance company. So that is included in the sample ordinance that we have. That would be, any bill that would go directly to a citizen would have to be approved by the mayor and council. That would be in the ordinance. We would never go after an individual for the cost of service. We would collect from the insurance company, and the company that we've decided to present today has about an 80% collection rate.
Chief, what's the nearest municipality that already has fire recovery ordinance in place? Do you know?
Savannah has a fire recovery ordinance in place. Garden City does as well. I was on the conference call with all the local chiefs, myself, Chief Kitchens, Chief Darby, Chief Moss next door to us. We all sat on the conference call. I know that Liberty County is considering it in some way. Long County is considering it. They're absolutely considering it. They got some money that they need to make over there. And I think it would be prudent for the city of Walthourville to do the same. And I say that as a Long County resident. So, this is, again, what I've learned is that this is very, very common north of Macon. It's south of Macon where we kind of run into a trickle-down effect where all the large departments are doing this. And we wonder how they're able to stay out in front of, fire departments are expensive. And we wonder how they're able to stay out in front of these types of purchases. And this is one of the ways that they generate revenue. Again, this goes after the responsible party. This doesn't bill the entire city's population for a structure fire that's nowhere near their side of town. Where we've been paying this collectively, like most fire departments are funded, this gives us the opportunity to go after the responsible party's insurance.
So is this, it's fee-based, but is there a difference between industrial that you would go look at or go for it opposed to residential, or it's just based on the insurance company, period?
It's based on the insurance company and our response to the incident. So if we get a single-story residence that catches on fire, we're sending all of our units, all of our personnel. We can probably mitigate that emergency with very little help from our neighbors. Whereas if one of our commercial occupancies or one of our industrial occupancies has an incident, we're still sending all of our resources, but we're calling for additional resources. That's done through mutual aid agreements, where there's never any money exchanged for mutual aid agreements. But what this billing structure does is it bills for when my vehicle goes out, when our engine goes out, our ladder truck, our tanker truck, the personnel that's on scene. It populates an invoice based on everything we sent to that incident, and it bills the insurance accordingly. And again, those rates are based on consumer price index. It's not numbers we made up. I would love to say that our personnel, they're $1,000 an hour, but that wouldn't be responsible for the insurance company. So, and then you also want to have fact-based information when you start talking numbers, because it's very easy to see something egregious and then just deny the invoice altogether. We want to make sure that we're presenting something that has data behind it. It's data-driven invoices, not just random numbers.
So you do, the fire department does medical calls as well, but this is not including medical costs.
So we did not include medical costs, and the reason for that is because the fire department is not the primary responder on medical incidents. Liberty County EMS is, and they bill. They're in the business of billing. So you will get a bill sometimes for an EMS call. I didn't think it was very honest for us to bill citizens for medical incidents, knowing that we are the secondary response, not the first response.
Council, questions? This is for information only tonight. You have the packet. You'll be able to read it when we come back to the next council meeting. I think the 25th of this month, we'll be able to vote yea or nay or ask for some corrections or whatever. Attorney Moses, you have any questions?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. Say that again.
Do you have any questions?
I don't. I'll just look at the contract. The only question I was going to ask, you already asked about what other municipalities were doing it.
Okay.
I'll look at the contract. It sounds like a good idea. Thank you.
If no further questions, council, let's review this packet and come back on at our next meeting of this month with any questions you may have and be ready to vote on this. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is a millage rate update. I told you at the last council meeting that I would talk with the tax commissioner, and I did. And his standard that he's going to charge us is the 2%. So that's 2% off the total amount of the tax digest. Okay.
Will you restate that?
When I spoke with the tax commissioner, as I told you guys I would at the last council meeting, to get the percentage that he's gonna charge us for handling our property tax, he's gonna charge us 2%.
And Mayor, isn't that consistent with what other municipalities are being charged by the county?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The alternative to that was to charge per plot, and that would be a lot more. So he's going to charge us by a percentage of the amount on the tax digest. Okay? All right.
Do we have like a ballpark figure, but that would be the 2. That's collectively, no, yes, okay.
All right. Next we have department comments. We don't have water department.
What was that number? We didn't hear it.
$740,000.
And that's how much you bringing in off of the millage?
No, that's what we're gonna be charged.
So how
Water
much is,
department is not.
so how much is our millage
Sir,
rate?
we have to wait until public comment.
Okay.
If you fill out a card. Not trying to be disrespectful, but we need to go in order. Water department, Councilman Boston, you received the information from the water department, and I asked you to come to see how many appointments so we can sit down and go over anything you may have questions with, okay? Fire department.
All right. I know y'all getting tired of me. I'm gonna make this report brief. All right, since our last meeting, we have regained access to our CAD view. The county IT was working very, very hard on getting us access back to our CAD view so we could give you a calls breakdown. So we do have access to it. So since our last meeting, we have responded to 20 total calls for service, 13 of them having been medical. We have run 0 motor vehicle accidents in the last 2 weeks. And we've run 4 fires. As you all know, we had a very, very dry spell. Very dry, very windy. We did respond to 4 fires during that period and 3 miscellaneous fire calls.
Any questions for Chief?
Yeah, I do. So on that 7 calls, Chief, so you had 20 calls, 13 were medical, 7 was fire calls.
Yes.
So 7 of those calls, based off of this thing that you just gave us information, those 7 people would have been billed. Or how's that play into the fact with that?
Specifically to those calls, one of the grass fires that we ran, there was property damage. So there will be an insurance claim. I have no doubt there'll be an insurance claim. So what happens is we take the data that we collect on scene, we enter it into our run report, and then there is a separate hub, the fire recovery hub. It will auto-populate all that information, and then we'll put in exactly what we did on scene to explain what's billable. And then the billing company takes that invoice and forwards it to the insurance company, and then the insurance company makes a decision. And then once they cut a check, I apologize, I left this part out. The company that we're utilizing bills 22% of what is collected. So they collect their 22% off the top. We don't pay anything into this service. They only collect what they bill. And then the remaining 78% is mailed by a check to the city. So if we build that grass fire, we had 3 units on scene because it came out as a structure fire. We got all 3 units on scene and my unit. It would be thousands of dollars additional onto that claim just based on what we charge per vehicle. That invoice would go to the insurance company. They would pay out the invoice. The fire recovery takes their 22% off. They write a check and they mail the check to the city.
So, I mean, so I guess if somebody's driving by and sees grass on fire and they call the structure, you're gonna bill the resident and they didn't make the call because of false, you see what I'm saying?
So we would have to be responsible enough to, if we got toned out for a structure fire and we get on scene and it's not a structure fire,
Right.
there's no reason for me to bill them for those other 2 trucks sitting outside.
Okay.
Did we respond? Yes.
Okay.
Did we utilize that apparatus? No. I think the most honest way to do it would be to bill based on what we actually did. Because sometimes our 911 center, we have a really, really good 911 center, but their protocols, their dispatch protocols different from our call response protocols. So they may page something out based on their protocols. It dictates how we respond, but when we get there, it's a little bit different. So the honest way to go about it is to
What you use and what you do.
Right.
That's all I had.
Any further questions?
Does that revenue normally go to the general fund or to the fire department? Like,
that would be wherever y'all decided the money to go. My suggestion would be that the money go to the general,
Go where?
to the general fund.
But it's utilized by the fire department.
Fire
I'm just asking.
Fire department is going, we gonna get a little bit of it one way or another anyway. However, I would suggest that the bulk of it go to the general fund, to be utilized to keep our city as efficient as possible.
All right, any further questions?
Chief,
Yes, ma'am.
would the pumper tanker be charged a higher rate because it carries no water with it?
So there is a rate in there for engines and tenders. We would charge based on, once we put that information in there that our pumper tanker went out on that call, they populate the invoice based on that truck being there and what that truck goes for per hour. That's separate from the manpower, the additional units. They bill that truck out. I want to say it's like $400 an hour just for that truck. So they bill that out based on the amount of time that we spend on sale.
Would it be connected to the fire?
No, ma'am, that's completely separate from the fire. But this company also allows us, when we structured our fire fees, we all unanimously agreed that there would never be any type of recourse for fire fees or the non-payment of fire fees where we wouldn't respond to an address. However, we did feel like the right thing to do would be to invoice. If you're delinquent on fire fees, then you're gonna have to pay in full for that call response. This company allows us to produce that invoice versus you don't want me to be the one over there making these numbers because I'm not the numbers guy. So this company also would allow us to bill, and that goes for the city of Allenhurst as well. It allows us to bill, the way that ordinance is structured is that it's specific to the fire department. So, any other question? Thank you.
Police department.
Well, I haven't done that. I'm just kidding. I'll give you.
That's a bird.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Last but not least, our citizens. Since our last meeting, we had 172 calls of service. With that, we had 37 generated reports. We've had 56 citations with 18 of those citations and warnings. Just bring notice to the citizens, the police office, our municipal clerk will be in training on Wednesday, the 12th, and Thursday, the 13th. So the police department admin office will be closed so that she can get that training. It will be online. Seniors Bingo Night is Friday, the 21st of March. Our neighborhood watch is scheduled for Thursday, the 27th of March. Assistant Chief Hooker and myself will be conducting a firearms instructor course. it will be held with, in conjunction with Savannah State, Savannah Technical College, Police Academy, Jessup Police Department, will be facilitating the, location for us to do that course. And that'll be Monday the 24th through Friday the 28th of March. Entertain any questions, Councilman?
Thank you so much. All right, do we have any citizens' comments? Okay. Mr. Cleary? Stand at the podium.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor.
Councilman.
Fellow citizens. Just a quick question about a bit about my road. Last year I came to you guys about the on-rail drive. Now it's kind of presenting a little hazard. You're coming onto Talmadge, if you're stopping, your car is slipping into the road. A lot of my friends, family, they come there and it's kind of getting that issue. It's not even the holes in it, it's when you're coming onto the actual road. I just want to, because I put in a work order, I just want to see what's going on with the work order.
Okay, you did put in a work order. I have to get with DOT to see if they'll fix it because DOT is responsible for that road. But it's leading into Arnell, so
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have to see if they can fix it. If not, then we're gonna have to build that little area up, and there will be our public works department. We haven't forgot about you. I just have to see if DOT can do anything to help us with that.
Because today I took due diligence and filled some of the holes with my own money and I put down some, I forgot the name of it, but I went to Lowe's and I filled some of the potholes.
So I did receive a call from another citizen, and she was saying that she noticed it. She hadn't driven on it, but she noticed it as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're on it.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate it. Any questions, council?
You said the vehicles are slipping or they
Yes, sir. So if you're coming onto Talmadge, so there's like a lip, literally like this, you're coming down, especially when it's raining, at the stop sign, your car is going to have a dip and your back tires are going to slip into the road. So that's just becoming a safety hazard.
when you're coming off of Talmadge and going on to
No, when you're coming off of Arnell, going to that stop sign, because you know that's a busy street.
Right.
There's a stop sign there. Once you're stopping, your car is going to go, you're dipping into the road. So it's really becoming a safety hazard.
I did go over there and take pictures and did a little video on it so I could show DOT when they come out.
And that is the only road that goes into the state road in Walthourville. The only dirt road that connects to the state road. It's messed up.
And like you said, there is a work order in on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll put it up.
That was it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Brayton, no?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Two things. The millage percentage, what's our millage rate? 2%?
2%, not millage rate, what the tax commission is gonna charge us.
So our millage rate will be what?
We haven't decided on the millage rate yet. We've been juggling some numbers,
Okay.
but we
So
haven't
it's gonna
decided
be-
on yet.
So
And
it's
we'll
gonna be
have,
whatever you decide plus the 2%?
no, the 2% is what they're gonna charge us.
Okay.
That's what the county is gonna charge us, the 2%
To
to process it.
10% off the top.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
Before we make a decision on any millage rate, we'll do the public hearings to get public input.
Gotcha.
And those, of course, will be advertised.
Okay. And the next thing, we trying to get debt free. I know when the man say that truck wasn't coming out of any of the revenue that's currently being billed, but what was the use of the truck? We never got that response.
Oh, he's, Chief, would you like to state that again?
Sure. So essentially, the thing to consider, and I know this is kind of hard, you would probably have to take my word for it, is SUVs and things of that nature are just going away in the fire service. So the pickup truck is going to be used, essentially it's going to be the only vehicle that we have that has pickup capability. We've been desperate for that need for a long time, and this was the most economical way to go about it. Essentially, Walthourville is not paying for it. Essentially, our intergovernmental agreement is paying for it.
So is it a real need or is it just a want? Because we got other stuff we can pay off to lower the burden on the citizens, and a new truck is,
This doesn't affect our citizens in any way.
it doesn't.
No. No, this truck is being paid for simply from funds received from the city of Allenhurst.
What he's talking about is we collect the fire fees, and the fire fee money can only be used for equipment, personnel, all of that at the fire department. So this is one way that we're gonna utilize those funds to get the equipment that we need.
Never mind that hundreds of thousands of dollars we in debt already.
We can't use that fire fee money for that. It can only be used for.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, mayor's update. Mayor's update. We already have, I gave you the information about the 2% that we're gonna be, charged for processing, collecting our, millage rate information. On March the 26th at 11, GMA is gonna open up the registration for the annual convention in Savannah. Council members, if you haven't done so already, go online, review, the classes offered, and send Ms. Moss your first and your second choices, because these get booked up real fast. Send her 3 choices, all right, 3 choices. It opens up at 11 a.m. So I've already sent my information in, and a couple other out as well. So the quicker you get it in, the quicker she'll have it before her, and she can log on and try to get us registered, okay? April the
question about the registration. Will the city be responsible for our registration?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. April the 15th, from 11 to 1, is GMA's 12th district listening session. It's gonna be at the Performing Arts Center. It's from 11 to 1, April 15th. April the 26th, we're doing something we haven't done out here in Walthourville, so I'm starting this thing. The Great American Cleanup, that's where we go and we clean up the city. We've had decent turnout for cleanups, it could be better. So Flemington and the city of Walthourville are joining together, and we're going to make this a theme event. And the theme of this is going to be autism awareness. We anticipate on having some things out there for the youth, food out there, a little entertainment if we can get what we need, and just to bring awareness to autism. The events I'm hoping the events that we do now, we will have a theme to it, and I think having a theme brings more people out and get more people involved, okay? So if you know anyone who would like to come out, it's gonna be the 26th of April, and we're gonna start, the events will be held in Johnny Frazier Park on the 26th, and from there, we will form our teams and move out and pick up litter in the city of Walthourville. Okay, any questions, council?
You said that was April 26th,
April
right?
26th, And there will not be any selling or anything in the park, because if we sell something, we're gonna have to charge them, so there won't be any selling. So if you know someone who would like to donate their time or bring something out there, desserts or something in that nature, then that would be fine, okay? Chief already said 27 March is Neighborhood Watch, and those are my updates for now. Now we'll move forward to elected official comments. Mayor Pro Tem.
I would like to know what we collected some funds from Georgia Power. What will those funds be utilized for, or have we decided what those funds are going to be used for?
Okay, we're gonna have to research that question because I don't have it on the answer on the top of my head.
So we
I
have
will
received any funds?
Typically, when the city receives funds, I would think it would go into the general fund, but so
Well,
specially designated.
with that, with those funds, I sent an email to council suggesting that we go ahead and pay the county what we owe them. Although we said that we will pay them with the gov deals, but in the meantime, since we do have the funds, I suggested that we go ahead and pay them when we get the money from gov deals. It'd just be in general fund. I think everybody responded and said, go ahead and pay the county. We all agreed. I don't recall getting an email back from Ms. Levitt.
No, you didn't get an email from me because I agree with paying the county. However, the funds that are set aside or that we may have set aside, what are they gonna be used for?
We haven't got them yet.
What's your question, Councilman?
No, I was just saying, we haven't got those funds yet.
We didn't get the funds from,
We haven't gotten the funds from gov deals. So your question is, what are we gonna do with the funds from gov deals when we get those?
no, I'm talking about the funds that's coming in from, and my understanding is that we've already collected them from Coastal Electric.
I don't know anything about Coastal Electric.
So the $92,000 you're not aware of?
Not from Coastal Electric.
Georgia Power.
Georgia Power, I'm sorry. I knew it was electric company.
That's what.
Right, so Georgia Power, my suggestion was, since we got money from Georgia Power, to go ahead and pay the county.
And I agree with that.
And then reimburse.
Ourselves with gov deals.
Right.
So when we get the money from gov deals, that'll just stay in general fund to pay other bills.
Okay.
So,
That's your question, what's up?
no, and see, we do too much mixing of funds. And if it came from Georgia Power, and we get those funds every year, when do they usually come into the city of Walthourville?
I don't know. I just happened to see that we had a deposit for $97,000. So I made the suggestion that we pay the county. When we get those funds every year, I'm not for sure, like what date we get them every year.
Ms. Moss, would you enlighten the council on the funds that we get? And they go into general fund?
Franchise fees are received by the city annually from Georgia Power, Coastal Electric, and Xfinity. There is no set time, anywhere from January 1st to March 31st.
So it's within that first quarter.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So everybody is in agreement to go ahead and pay the county with the $97,000. But we don't owe the county the entire.
Need a motion on that?
We do.
Well, I make the motion that we go ahead and pay the county on with those funds that we received from the power company.
I second.
Is that what, how much do we owe now? I know we made a payment, but what, do you know the total?
It was 60,
I think
it
it's
was
like
60.
119,000.
That's the total.
Oh, really?
That's the total.
Right, we owe the county a total of like 100 something. But my suggestion was, because we told the county when we had a meeting, we told the county we was gonna pay X amount of dollars. Just pay them what we told them. And that was what we was gonna receive from gov deals, which was like 67,000. We're getting 67,000 from gov deals. We said we were gonna pay the county that. So that was my suggestion. Let's just pay the 67,000 from the Georgia Power money. But if y'all wanna pay.
What is the balance after we pay the 67,000?
He said 190.
40 something.
It's gonna be like 41,000 or something like that.
I see on this, Councilwoman Kelly sent the email on March the 5th to pay $67,351.
Because that's what we will receive from
So
gov
then
deals.
the balance would be, somebody just called out a number of what, 118 something?
Right, so
So
it'd be
118 minus 67, that would be the balance.
So we pay the 67 now, and then when we get
That check, Councilwoman Kelly and the mayor, Councilman Boston, will sign those checks tomorrow. The 12 that you all had approved, that has already been taken to Liberty County. Matter of fact, Councilwoman Kelly took the payment herself. So now we're just waiting for the email that Councilwoman Kelly sent you all on March the 5th, authorizing that $67,000. That payment will be available tomorrow for signage, and then someone will take it to Liberty County.
And then when we get the gov deals, money.
The gov deals, then from her email, the gov deals will just stay because that money is already in the general fund, so that money from gov deals will just stay.
Unless we come back and say we're going to, right, unless, we come back and say when we get gov deals, we'll just pay the remaining 40 whatever thousand that we owe the county.
Is that minus the 12,000 we've already paid as well?
Right, the 12,000 is totally different from what we're discussing. We're discussing the landfill pretty much. That 12,000 was for the jail. That was for the jail.
Okay.
So council,
So-
we get a motion to pay, I know. We need to, actually it's not on the agenda. It's not on the agenda. But in light of what we need to do, we need to, I need to have a motion to pay the 67,300.
I make a motion, we pay the $67,314.86 to the Liberty County landfill, solid landfill on Friday.
I second. So moved.
State what it's for. Oh, you said Liberty County, okay. All right, you got to, can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. Any noes? Motion carried.
And I have another motion after this one. I make a motion that when we get the gov deals money, the 67,000 from gov deals, we pay the 40 that we owe the county and just be done with the county after that.
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, Councilmember Foster.
Okay, I have a few things to discuss. Good evening, everyone. I wrote some things down. I wanted to start by addressing a previous miscommunication regarding the response from our City Hall staff to Atlantic Waste. There was some confusion due to a message not reaching the intended recipient initially, but we clarified that. So the miscommunication was on their end. So I stand corrected.
They're who again?
Huh?
They're who again?
Atlantic Waste. Okay. Now moving on to the billing issues, City Hall has presented to me. Should I wait for the train? It ain't too loud. All right. I reviewed the master billing registry for the month of February, and upon doing some auditing, I found that there were approximately 873 homes that were not being charged an admin fee, and another 870 homes weren't being charged a $3 bulk fee. Additionally, there were 127 accounts that were missing charges for extra cans, extra trash cans. On top of that, there were 250 cans throughout the city that were not accounted for at all. If we combine those 250 cans with the 326 cans that Atlantic Waste has already picked up, but weren't being counted, we have a total of 576 additional cans that the city just wasn't getting revenue for. This resulted in a monthly loss of $9,504. So if you look at 2024 over that year, that amounted to a loss of $114,048 from the city. And if you factor that over the past year plus the previous 4 years, that added up to $570,240 that the city has lost out on. So these trash cans are a big deal. And it's part of the reason why we're in the financial situation that we're in. So I would really encourage citizens to, if you have additional trash cans, that is okay, but we have to pay for those, because ultimately it's bankrupting our city. To address these issues, I propose the following solutions. I propose that we perform regular audits and to help streamline our process and minimize human error, and to also streamline the communication system between the city and service providers such as Atlantic Waste to quickly address any discrepancies, and just public awareness to inform citizens about our billing processes and encourage citizens to report any discrepancies. This is very time sensitive because we're getting bills from Atlantic Waste monthly, and the good thing is, like right now, Atlantic Waste is absorbing the cost right now. But prior to, the city of Walthourville was absorbing it. So it's essential that we really get to the bottom of this sooner than later.
Councilman Boston.
Yes, sir.
All the stuff, the numbers you was talking about, 2 cans, 1 can, not being billed, is all that stuff corrected?
It hasn't been corrected yet, but I am willing to work with City Hall in order to get those numbers corrected. Any citizens that have to and you don't want to, or you don't want to pay for 2, then let us know, we can come pick them up. It doesn't matter to me how many cans you have. You just have to pay for them. That's really the bottom line to what I'm saying.
When does the bill go out this month? Yeah. So that. So it didn't go out today.
Thank you, Councilman Boston, for that. Thank you for admitting, hold up one second. Thank you for admitting that there was discrepancy in communication and what Atlantic Waste was doing as well.
Yes,
Mr. Golfin and I are looking at what we can do as far as the trash cans and everything, an actual audit of getting the cans listed that are not listed. There was a period of time where Mr. Golfin was not working at City Hall, and things got kind of messed up as far as that portion. So he's working on the billing, and he is working on looking at the ones and already in there correcting some of the issues that he sees. So we are actively working on that. He's actively working on that.
Yes, ma'am.
As well as other workers from City Hall.
I have a list of addresses that will help him.
Please get that to him, and I'm asking that you keep communication open with Mr. Goffin, because he's been here the longest, and he's trying to make sure that everything gets caught back up in the system.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it is a lot of work, and like I said before, there's 3 people over there working in the place of 5. So it takes a little bit, but thank you for that. Was there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, what's your question, Mayor?
This question may have already been answered. Who's responsible for the trash cans per household?
As it matters to what?
If you have 5 trash cans at your house, who's responsible for knowing whether you have 5 or not?
Well, the person that has 5 for one, and then they should notify City Hall should also know that they do, but in regard, it's not citizen input, sir. In regard to the charges and everything, everybody's not honest. We don't know if someone goes over, and this happened, somebody moves out of their house, somebody goes and take their trash can. If you have the same workers on the trash truck that know who had what and who doesn't have what, that's one thing, but if you don't know what they're paying for, what they haven't paid for. So like I said, we're gonna have to put into place audits where we go out and check on these things. Ms. Thomas, you have a
Mayor
question?
and Council, I'd like to pose a question to you all with your suggestions. Just follow me for a minute. I have trash service with you. Ms. Jackson has trash service. We both have trash cans. All of a sudden, I come home, my trash can is gone. My trash can is gone. I call City Hall. I don't know what happened to my trash can. It's gone. The city has a responsibility to provide a trash can. Okay, my trash can is gone. But guess who took my trash can and I don't know it? Miss Jackson took my trash can and she still has hers. She has her trash can on the back, both trash cans on the back of the home. And I'm just using you, Miss Jackson, please. If something happens, she doesn't even live there. I'm just trying to make a point. She has those trash cans on the back of her, at the back of her house. So therefore, really and truly, my trash can is not missing. It has gone to someone that has basically stolen the trash can. Nobody's gonna call City Hall and say I stole a trash can. But we have a responsibility to give citizens a trash can. That's how a lot of that happens. Then therefore you got citizens end up with 2, 3 trash cans. They are only being billed for one because that's only the record that we have. And they constantly put all this trash and just rotate them in and out. So my question to you all, how do we mitigate that?
I think,
May I speak on reference to that? There are numbers on those trash cans. Are you all not correlating the numbers on the garbage can with the resident that has it?
Yes, ma'am. There's sometimes the trash can, once that trash can goes out and that on that work order, yes, ma'am, it puts it there. But a lot of times on the trash truck, when someone goes around the trash people, they're moving, they're not looking at, you know, the number for the trash can. And then if that trash can is missing, if my trash can has been stolen, my last 4 digits are 200. Where are we gonna go look to find trash can number 200? If it's at the back of someone's house.
And not only that, the way some of these houses are built, my trash can will be out right across, not across from, but in close proximity to my neighbor's trash can. So you may think that, you know, both companies have that. And it's something that happens quite often in Walthourville. People taking up people's trash cans. When they move out, the trash can is left there and they take the trash can and use it for themselves. And how is it we don't know? Because just like the scenario said, they hide the trash cans. Can we go on their personal property and grab the trash can? It would be a big issue.
Some people use the trash cans to move. I mean, you just hear some stories.
I think a lot of that goes back to, I don't know if Sam and them has like a master list till they get to know the route better, because I know they can start it. And that there could help alleviate a lot of those problems. As far as the stolen trash can, I think Ms. Logan was talking.
Every day, you know, they'll call, hey, my trash can is missing. You're like, you know, do you think your neighbor has it? I don't know whether they got it or not. But then the citizen has service with us, and we are mandated to provide them with the trash can.
But
so that's how some of that.
I think to mitigate some of that stuff right there, if we see it being a problem, we come up with an ordinance. If we see it becoming a problem where my trash can was stolen, my trash can was damaged, because I know that happens after 1 or 2, then we start charging them for the can to do that. And we keep records of that. I mean, we can do an ordinance for that. I mean, because.
But you know, those are the main problems. You know, we are open to suggestions, so we're just asking you all to help how we can mitigate that situation.
But I think a lot is going to go back to the contractor when they running the route, and they. Well, I know Councilman Boston had 1 trash can, but today he's got 4. What's going on there?
right. I think that like, you know, like what I suggested is if we do periodic auditing, and perhaps when Atlantic Waste is on their route, we could assign someone from Public Works to just follow the trucks when the people putting their cans out and count them. I mean, it's tedious, but I did it, and it can be done. So, you know, we just have to. I'll get with you on that. I've identified homes with 8, 7, 5, and they're only paying for 1 or 2.
So all of our trash cans are locked up, though, right?
Yeah, ours are.
Inside
Yes.
2 areas, yes.
Ours are, and you're right. And that's just from what I was able to see from the road. Because like you said, people put their trash cans in the backyard, they put them in the garage, they put them wherever they put them. So, you know, that could be, you know, it could be more out there. But what I'm saying is most of the time, people will put their trash cans out on trash day. So maybe quarterly, we could task someone from Public Works to just follow the trucks and just count them.
You're right, they put them out, but if you got a stash, all you got to do is rotate.
I would hope I'm a dreamer. I would hope for the most part, people aren't, like, that's not a rampant thing where everyone's just stealing trash cans. I would hope that that's the minority. I do understand that exists, you know? But I think for the most part, our citizens just want their trash picked up. You know, you might have some people who steal. There are people who steal. I get it. But I think that with vigilant citizens, you know, if you know of someone that's stealing can, we need to know. You know, and we could do something about it. You know. But for the most part, I honestly think that some people might not even be thinking about it. Like, because at one point, everyone was getting a second can. It just wasn't paying for the second can, you know, because of the recycle and all of that stuff that was going on. And I think that they're just accustomed to having 2 cans. I don't think it's anything malicious. I just think that as a city, we need to bring it in because, you know, if you're paying for 1 or even 2 cans, but you have 3 or 4 and you fill them up, that's going to the landfill. And like I said, right now, Atlantic Waste really is taking the hit on that now. You know, because if they're only charging us for 2, but they really have 8, then they're losing. But
they're
up
not
until
all 8 out at the same time, are they?
in the situation where I saw 8, I counted 8. I was flabbergasted. I had to count it again. So, I mean, it happens. But
I think the biggest part, we don't know what they did in the past on giving trash cans out. We might have,
so you may not be able to track which numbers that
deal, but I think if we continue monitoring, like you said, audit and follow, I think it's going to get better for.
Even if we do it quarterly, because there were homes that were obviously vacant that had trash cans out there, you know. But if we did a regular audit, we could bring those in. Cause look, you might see a trash can at a vacant house and you're like, let me get that, you know. So I mean, I think that the scenarios are endless as to how it can be happening. But if we keep a number on it, then we could bring that down significantly because, as I said, over the course of years, I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, and I don't think it's ironic that in 1 year we lost out $114,000, but we owed the county $110,000.
Okay, so bottom line up front, we're gonna do an audit on the trash cans.
A lot of trailer parks
To
had
come
too.
down with this.
That was another thing, the trailer parks.
Trailer parks.
Can Chief Reed put tractors on trash cans?
You know, I guess essentially if the city sent something out about the trash cans and collecting them and people are still harboring them, I don't know if it would be considered theft of government property.
Their serial number, they got serial numbers.
Yeah.
We'll look at, what we can
If
do
the city gave it to you.
about this. If we need to put an ordinance in place, council will look at doing that as well. All right, thank you, Councilman Boston. Thank you for your research.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Underwood,
I don't have anything.
Councilman Kelly.
I've gotten, y'all just check your emails. I've gotten, 2 emails from 2 different auditors, so I'll forward them to you.
Thank you. Councilman Dodd.
Got 2 things, Mayor. You should have received an email for March 25th, hazard mitigation update.
Yes, I got that
I
today.
encourage you to attend that, and council members and the two chiefs to play a big part in that update with, it's a 5-year plan that you gotta have it, so I encourage you to come to that meeting. Also for the citizens, Liberty County Emergency Management has got a mobile app, and I'll leave these out, where you can track storms and you can make like hurricane plans. It's got in there what to do before, during, and after a tornado. It's a good app. I'm gonna leave these right here with Miss Moss, so I'll leave them right here. I encourage you to download that app, and if you have any questions, even if you have some damage to your house, you can go into that app and fill out a form on there, and it's you can upload a picture, and it's going to come right to the local emergency management office, and it helps us for to send to the state, so it helps us all. But I encourage everyone to download that. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, council members. This time I need a motion to go out of general session into executive session for the discussion of real estate.
I make a motion that we adjourn regular council meeting and enter into executive session.
Second.
All in favor, show of hand. Motion carries. If everyone can excuse us, thank you for coming.
Excuse me.